What's up, healthy? I gotta redo that. What is up, healthy community? Community Manager Jordan here with another wonderful member spotlight meeting. So happy y'all can be here. Tonight we are interviewing Healthi member Laura, and I am so excited. She's another fellow Alabamian, and I'm so excited to get her on here to talk about her health and wellness journey. She's lost over 40 pounds, and I'm hoping tonight she'll be here to inspire you all. Just give her a couple minutes to get on here. Sorry guys, I had to put do not disturb on my phone just in case somebody were to text me or call me. How was everybody's... Oh, here we go. Hope you all enjoyed your wonderful weekend. It was nice and warm here. Hey, Laura. All right, I'm getting you on now. Give me 1 second. Send invite. See if it works. Hello, Laura. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Alrighty, awesome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Of course.
This is awesome. I'm excited to hear about your journey. Let's start with just doing a little introduction about yourself.
Okay. I'm Laura, of course. Mom of 2 boys. My husband is Derek. He's my biggest supporter. I just turned 31 in August. And I guess that's pretty much me. I work from home, so I just started a new job recently that allows me to work from home, and I'm absolutely loving that. So it allows me to do all these fun side things as well.
No, yeah, that's awesome. You also are residing in Alabama.
Yes. Can you tell?
No, I thought that was one of the coolest things when I met you was that you're in the northern part of Alabama. I'm like, everybody that I meet that are like Instagram friends are always in the northern part of Alabama. And I traveled all the way down to the southeastern part, so it's quite a ways.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yes. So why don't you go ahead and let us talk about your journey, your health and wellness journey. So go back as far as you want to start with. Let us know kind of like where you were at growing up. How was your weight? When did you decide that it was time for you to kind of get it all in check?
Well, goodness, I don't know really how far to go back, but I have off and on kind of health has always been an important thing to me. At the end of the day, me feeling good about myself for myself, but for my kids and my husband is a big ordeal for me, because if I'm not confident in myself and I'm not feeling good, then they're not. So I guess like going way back to before I was married.
Yeah.
My mom was always a supporter in me, trying out anything for us to be healthy together. And she kind of like set the, I guess, I don't want to say set the tone, but she kind of, there's still things that I go back to that she taught me, and that she did at home, that I go back to now years later. But sorry, I'm a little nervous.
You're fine, Laura.
So basically this time around, I honestly I just didn't like the person that I was anymore. And I had a friend reach out to me. I had just started, it was when y'all were still iTrack. And my mother-in-law actually introduced me to y'all to begin with. And way back, I had done, of course, Weight Watchers. And everybody had mentioned that this was, similar, and that it was something that I could follow. as well.
Yeah.
And so I decided to try it. And then I had a friend reach out to me about the 75 hard challenge. That would be
Oh,
a
Lord.
exercise that I could pair with. And so I was doing nothing, like no working out, no drinking water, hadn't been eating right. I was just miserable, to just put it bluntly. And
Yeah.
so I remember sitting in my living room looking at my phone talking to this girl, and I thought, you know what? I'm my first thought was, no, there's no way I can do this. I can't commit to doing this diet plus this exercising. It's just not me. I just don't know. But I'm always up for a challenge. And so I literally like forced myself to type to her, yes, I will. I
Yeah.
will commit to this. And I did. So I just pretty much made myself. But once I started doing it, I started learning more about the healthy bite system and pairing that with exercising and the water intake and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's become a part of me now because I've made it all habits. So that's pretty much.
Yeah. No, if it seems a little weird on video, there's a slight delay, like of when you talk. So
Yeah,
if there's
I'm
like a
seeing that.
little bit of a pause, that's what it is. So don't think that I'm not like listening to you or whatever. There is a slight little pause. I hate
Oh,
it.
okay.
Facebook always messes up with us. No, that is so awesome that
Okay.
it took something like 75 hard, somebody to kind of get you going for it, a new challenge to then open up possibilities for you to lose over 40 pounds with our health and wellness system. That is just amazing. We can preach it, we can teach it all we want, but until we get members to actually do it, it kind of is like, are people actually going to listen and do this? And so that is so awesome that it took something like that to get you started. So let's talk about you're 40 something pounds down now. I believe you're on Better Balance, correct? Our Better Balance plan. Um, so how has
Yes.
that been the whole entire time when you started?
From the beginning, I didn't start with Better Balance, but for me, it was literally like the name for me. It's just a better balance for me. Um, I
Yeah.
I just told my husband this week that I I literally never I don't ever feel like, I remember in the past doing diets where I just felt like I was hungry all the time and I just needed something all the time. But with this, I can honestly say that sometimes I feel like there's no way that I'm going to lose this week because I feel like I've ate a lot. Like, even though I've tracked it, I'm
Yeah.
like, I feel like I've ate a lot and I stay full, I stay satisfied. I feel like I eat more now sometimes
Yeah.
than I did before, but I'm still losing.
Yeah, no. And that's so funny that you say that. So today, this morning at 11 was my member meeting I hosted. If shameless plug for our Healthi, we do member meetings every week, every day. Mine's Tuesdays at 11. So I had a group of ladies that I was talking to and literally was telling them, like, shouldn't the goal be to eat as much as you can and still lose weight? And this group of women looked at me and they were kind of like, yes, yes, that is true. And that is kind of like, I love hearing you say that because our other Healthi coach, Brianna, she's always one too. She's a macro counter and she's always like, I am going to see how much I can consume, but still see that loss on the scale. Because that's what makes it a lifestyle. That's what makes you being able to still do it, Laura, after all these months. You haven't
Right.
given up because it's more of a lifestyle for you because you're not feeling like you're depriving yourself.
Yes. And even sometimes when I do think I'm going to like go off the rails, so to speak, it's become so much of a lifestyle that I really
Yeah.
like. Even when I try to, it's just natural to me to do the things that I do. Like sometimes I won't track first because that's always a thing. Like I track as I eat so
Yeah.
that I know, like
Yeah.
how many I have for the next meal or whatever. But even when I'm not tracking, most of the time I can go back and track it and realize I didn't do that bad because I've done it so much that it's
Yeah.
just become like a natural thing to me. And even like the things that I did before, like I just told my friend today at one of our Christmas get-togethers, which this has been a huge thing for me to have done this through the holidays because I've never successfully went through a diet all the way, a diet, well, lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. For me, it's a lifestyle, but through the
Yeah.
holidays, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of temptations. But I literally walked through at our church Christmas dinner through the dessert line with my plate, and I got all the way to the end of it, and my plate was still empty. And I'm like, okay, let me try this again. So I went all the way back through it, and my plate was still empty.
Yeah.
Like like I just didn't crave it. I didn't want it. So I just was like, well, whatever, and
Yeah.
I just put my empty plate down.
That's a huge success. Just the fact of, like I tell all of our members, especially over the holidays or anything like that, memories over macros. There's going to be, you had your church dinner, you're fellowshipping with your friends and family, and you're just like, if I'm tracking, I'm tracking. If I'm not, I'm not. I'm still going to enjoy myself. And the fact that you were able to see that you kind of thought about it. You didn't realize that your mind was doing it to you, but you kind of are like, I don't really need that, or I don't really want that. It's not the fact that you can't have it. It's the fact that at that time you were like, no. Like for me, sometimes if I go to family dinners or anything like that, and there is like cookies or whatever, like, we always joke at our church, every time we fellowship, they're called like pastor cookies or preacher cookies. They're the no bake. They're us Northerners. I'm originally from the North. We call them no bake cookies. Down South, y'all call them like preacher cookies or something like that. Anyways, so we had them, but I'm just like, I can have that any day. Like, it's not something that I'm just like, oh, that's worth it to me. Now, if I were to see you and you made a peach cobbler, I don't get that very much. So I would probably have a slice of peach cobbler.
Yes. Kind of like me and red velvet cake. I did eat red velvet cake at one of our dinners, and I guess, I don't know, like for me, that was a worth it thing. But for me, if I track it or even take a picture, like that's the same day I took a picture of my plate, and I put all the bites all over it on the screen and shared it. It just like it made me feel better because I was eating more than I usually did, but I still tracked it, like even tracked the red velvet cake. And I'm pretty sure I lost like, I can't remember. It was like even more than normal that week. I was like, okay.
No, yeah. I love that. You're definitely showing our members and letting our members know that you can definitely do this as a lifestyle permanently or however long you want, and it's working for you and you can do it. I'm reading some of the comments. Sorry about these preacher cookies.
Oh,
they have oatmeal in them, Jordan. In Ohio, they are no-bake cookies. Yes. Sorry. I just am seeing this scrolling that they're talking about no-bake
It's
cookies.
okay. I can't see.
So what exactly do you find yourself on a daily? What is your normal routine with tracking your food? What are some go-to breakfast, lunch, and dinner ideas, or breakfast, lunch, and dinner staples that you're just like, I do this, it helps me stay on track? Let our members get some inspiration from you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I always start my morning off with coffee. That's probably not like the best tip, but I have learned how to make it and only use 2 bites to do it. And those 2 bites dedicated to that a day are like so worth it to me. But when I do eat like a good for me breakfast, I usually do an egg or 2. Most of the time, just 1. If I put it with chicken bacon, I almost called it turkey bacon, which I do eat as well. But there is a chicken bacon that I get from Publix, and it's called Alfresco chicken bacon, and you can have 5 slices for one bite.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's a lot to me. That's really good. So I have an electric like skillet griddle thing, and I'll literally
Yeah.
put like my egg, and then in the center like my 5 pieces of bacon, and then I do those Kodiak cake pancakes. So it's like half a
Uh-huh.
cup of the mix with half a cup of water. You mix that together and
Yeah.
just spoon it out on the griddle. And I think it's 2 bites, but I always lose track of how many it is. But it's like probably 4 or 5 little pancakes. And then the sugar-free
Yeah.
syrup is 0. So I end up having like this
That
whole
sounds
plate of
delicious,
food.
honestly.
It's really good. Sometimes I don't eat all of it just because it's so much food that I can't eat it all plus my coffee, and I'm gonna do my coffee before anything. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, so I'm not like a huge breakfast person, but when I do eat a big breakfast, that's it. And my husband loves for me to cook that like on the weekends, sometimes even for him for
I
work.
love that.
As far as
Yeah, I love that.
lunch goes, I usually do a pretty simple lunch. A lot of times it's leftovers from the night before. I'm big on leftovers. A lot of
Yeah.
people aren't, but I am. My whole family eats leftovers. Um, I will say I just tried a new recipe this week, and I have eaten it off of it all week. It's an instant pot spaghetti recipe, and literally, like all it is
I seen on your stories.
yes, yes. So you're delayed, so I'm like waiting for you to say. Um,
Okay.
but
I'm sorry.
anyway,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, so like you literally just throw it all in the pot. It's like pasta sauce, diced tomatoes, spaghetti noodles, and then I use the recipe builder inside the app to scan everything in, and then I divided it
Yeah.
out by how many cups it was, and saw that it would serve 11 if I did 1 cup, um, 11
Yeah.
times. And so that was only six bites for that. And even my kids loved it. So most of the things, that's another thing, is
Oh,
most of the
wow.
things that I do and
That's
try
so
right
hard
now,
to do with
my
kids. That
kids,
is so hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
If my kids love it, then it's a winner.
Then it's on repeat.
So
Yeah.
that, yes, always. That was a huge hit. A lot of times I'll just keep it simple, but I get tired of just like grilled chicken. I don't care anything about going on a diet that all I can
Yeah.
eat is grilled chicken all the time. So I try to like
Yeah.
change
Chicken
it
and
up.
rice and broccoli. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't. Like, I we eat at home honestly more than we do out, just because cooking for me, I do seem to get, well, I do, like, not seem to, I know I get so many more options, and things are so much less in bites when I do it at home
Yeah.
than when I eat out.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And I bet your family really enjoys that too, because that's one thing we do. Like, I love it that my wife cooks at home every night. And, we go out to dinner like once a week, for like date night with us and the kids and stuff. And then we sometimes travel to Georgia on Sundays for church. And if we do, then we'll stop maybe for dinner afterwards because we're hungry or whatnot. But that's awesome. One
Yeah,
thing to note,
but
just
that's
like you
doable
said,
too.
if you eat it, yeah, if you make your own food, and this is why I'm like, I love, and I can attest to this, I love a lean cuisine. I don't know if you've ever had this, a lean cuisine protein. It's like their bigger ones, lean cuisine protein, and it's a unwrapped chicken bowl, like chicken burrito bowl type thing. And I'm telling you, if I make it myself, if I'm I'm not gonna say lazy, but if I'm not like, oh, I gotta hurry up and grab something like I do, and I actually make it, it's less bites for more food because I'm making it myself. Like, it's crazy.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So, Laura, talking about just goals in general, this week at our member meetings, we were talking about putting our goals into actionable plans. So my question to you now is, what are some 2022 goals for you? This is the last live member spotlight we're doing of 2021. So I'm wanting to know for you, what is 2022 goals look like?
Okay, well, I'm big on like actual numbers. I know that that's not everything to some people, but when I weigh, like I look at the numbers on the scale and like I want them to say a certain thing. I want to feel good in my clothes, but the number is just like important to me, right? Because I know like what I have to get to feel good about myself in my clothes. So I guess for me, like I'm telling this to all the live, and I know like I don't have to, but I really don't care like as far as people knows like what I weigh. That doesn't bother me. But I actually just put it, you may have already seen it on my Instagram stories today, that I want to be below 170 by my baby, not baby anymore, his 5th birthday. So that is the 20th of January. But for me, I make small goals. So like if I make like this huge goal, it seems overwhelming to me.
Definitely.
I feel like I can't reach it. So the way that I have lost the 40 something pounds is, and by the way, today was my weigh-in, and I lost again after Christmas. So
awesome.
I was real proud of that. But the way that I've done that is by making small goals. So I might hit a certain number and I want to be below a certain number. But like right now, I'm maybe a little over 3 pounds away from that, under 170. But I know that as soon as I hit that, I'm going to be proud of myself for that. And it just makes me, when I see 170, it makes me want to see 165. So when I see 170, I'm not just going to be like, woo, and celebrate with eating everything inside. Like I automatically am going to have a new goal, and I already have that goal, but I don't really look at that goal until I've met the first one. So once I meet that first goal, then I'm going to, my oldest son's 12th birthday is February 11th. And so I hope to, as soon as I meet the first goal by February 11th, be seeing 165. And I'll make them a little at a time. So that's as far as I've gotten right now, Jordan. But then when I get there, we'll make a new one.
Yeah, no, I love that so much. The small goals are so much obtainable. They're so much doable. And then even if it takes you a little bit longer to get to that smaller goal, you're not putting so much pressure on you. You know, you're not saying I want to be 50 pounds lighter come July of 2022. You know, like you don't get there. If you don't get there, then you're thinking I'm a failure. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Where you might have lost 35 pounds and goodness gracious, that's amazing.
Well, I know for me, like when I first started with Healthi and I signed up on the app and everything, you know, it asks you, I think it asks you like your goal weight. And I literally typed in the goal weight and backspaced, typed it in and backspaced, because it seemed like so far off to me that I couldn't even commit to it. So like today when I weighed in, I looked at that number again. Like when I weighed in, it shows like my goal.
Yeah.
And when I seen what I had made my goal, was 170. Like I made my goal, like I made that because I didn't feel like anything less than that. And when I made that goal, I felt like, oh my goodness, it's going to take me forever to reach that. But then today I seen that I was almost to that already. And I was like, oh, I actually did do that.
That is crazy. That is crazy. That I love that so much, honestly. You know, just seeing that it was scary at first. You know, when you first started, you were like, I am not going to get there. I don't know if I can get there. And then now to see you're just a few pounds away from it, you know, like that's
Yes.
something to be proud of, Laura. That's something to be proud of.
Yes, I am.
Love it. Love it. We are almost to the 8 o'clock hour, Laura, and I have two questions I always ask our members before I head off. The first one is, what is something that you know now, as of today, what is something you know now that you wish you would have knew when you first started your journey?
That one's tough. What do I wish I had known? Okay, say it one more time.
What is something you know now that you wish you would have known when you first started your journey?
Okay, I guess for me, I wish that I had really known my capabilities. Like, I wished I had more faith in myself, kind of like I was saying, like,
Yeah.
making the smaller goal, or making the goal not what I could have made it, just because I wasn't sure if I could do it. Yeah, just all around having more faith in my capabilities as a person.
You know, I've heard that from the last couple guests, the last couple members I've interviewed. That's almost identical to what they said was they wish they would have had enough faith in their journey when they first started. Like knowing that they could do it rather than thinking they could do it, or rather than putting some negativity in it to be like, oh, I'll probably never get to goal. And then, yeah, so that's a very good one. I really appreciate that one. And the last but not least, pop quiz. Last but not least is, Laura, I do this every week. And I have, you know, hundreds and thousands of members that watch it on the replay, listen to our podcast episodes on Friday. You know, this goes out, our member spotlight meeting goes out on the podcast on Friday. You know, not to pressure you, but we're almost at 60,000 listens since I started the podcast in June. So there is that many people that are listening. What do you want to tell that individual, that person that wants to get to where you are, or wants to start their health and wellness journey, but they're so afraid to do it? They're so scared to do it. What do you want to say to them to inspire them to get started?
First of all, it's so worth it. It is worth everything that you put into it. It's worth it. With Healthi, I have, and like, this is not pre-thought out, okay? You did this on purpose, didn't you? so so for me, like, just the fact that anything that I do with this is not it's not a failure. When I mess up, I just pick right back up. There's nothing that I can't have or do. It's worth it to go on the journey, but to stay on the journey. Like, just because you think that you
Oh my God.
fell off, or not doing well, or whatever, as long as when you fall off and you let yourself fall off, you jump right back on. For me, so many times in the past, I have just been like, oh, well, the famous saying, I guess we'll start Monday. Like,
Yeah.
for me, I just have completely erased that from my memory. Other than remembering it, I don't put it into play anymore, because it has literally become a lifestyle for me. And not just saying that, like, I can't think of anything that I would rather be doing, just because I don't have to feel like junk anymore. Like, I was just talking to my
Yeah.
friend today, and we were discussing about how we used to feel horrible, just
Yeah.
like junk all the time. And now, like, I feel so much better about myself, but I feel so much better in my body. And I feel like I can keep up with my kids and be more active. It's just so worth it. That's just
Yeah.
all I can say.
Love it. Love it. The journey is worth it. That is some very good advice to people. No matter if it takes you a year, year and a half, 6 months, whatever your small goal is, your big goal is, it's worth it in the end. And like you said, I love that you're like, I felt like crud. I felt like junk before. And now, you're shining, you're 40 something pounds down, you're keeping up with your kids more, all that stuff. It's very inspiring. And I know that is going to inspire somebody. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, go ahead, Laura, and plug in your Instagram name so people can follow you.
Okay. I can.
Can you type it out?
Yes.
All
I think I
righty.
put it up there.
Did it work? All righty. Shady Oak Lane, correct? Shady Oak Lane. Yep. Shady Oak Lane is where you can find Laura on Instagram. Go ahead and give her a follow. Thanks, Laura, for your time. I appreciate it. So glad I was able to meet you. And, enjoy the warm weather now.
You too.
Hey, and let y'all know, Laura, you might get some storms tomorrow. Did you know that?
I know. Yes. I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah. No. So prayers for you there in northern Indiana or northern Alabama. I'm hoping where I'm at, I won't get too many, but yeah. So you take care.
You too.
All right, guys. That was Healthi member Laura, Shady Oak Lane on Instagram. Go ahead and give her a follow. I am so happy that we got to spend our last live together of 2021. And I am super excited to announce that in January of 2022, for the whole month of January, I will be interviewing every one of our meeting leaders that we have on Healthi that are going to be leading meetings, our online member meetings, starting in January. We have Healthi Coach Brianna, Healthi Coach Alexis, Healthi Coach Ben, Healthi Coach, Head Coach Lisa. All 4 of them will be interviewed throughout the month of January, and I can't be happier for you guys to not only see them again, talk to them again, but to get to know them better, to see if you would like to join one of their member meetings. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your year, and I will see you guys next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye, guys.